Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is BODICE. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this asymmetrical statement blouse step by step. So hit the subscribe button below your screen, tap the like button, and let's proceed. So guys, today's statement blouse tutorial will be divided into two, and the first part, which I'm going to be working on today, is the blouse part of the blouse, the bodice part of the blouse. Then the sleeve part is what I'll be working on in my next video. So watch out for my next video. The next video I'm going to be posting after this one, so you watch out for it for the full step-by-step tutorial on how to make the statement sleeve. So now for the bodice part of the blouse, the first thing you need to do is to get your basic bodice block, like I always mention. So if you don't know how to draft one, you can check out this tutorial that is right on top of your screen. I already put the link right at the top, so you can learn how to draft a basic bodice block. So for me, this is my close fitting basic bodice block, and it's close fitting because I already have like this extra dart here. So this is the bodice pattern you'll be needing, the one that has like this dart here, this waist dart, and this bust dart right here. So now let's proceed with today's tutorial. Before proceeding, I would also like to mention that this tutorial is solely going to be based on pattern making only. So it's going to be based solely on pattern making only, so there's going to be less sewing. So yeah, so before we proceed, just note that. So it's just basically how to cut the blouse, although I'm going to be doing like I'm going to be sharing some few instructions on how to like put it together, but it's not going to be a comprehensive sewing tutorial. Basically on how this video is going to be basically on how to cut the blouse. So yeah, let's move straight in. Now this is my front pattern. The first thing I'm going to be doing is to modify the neckline. So I'm going to change the basic neckline I have here to the one I have in the picture. Now the first thing I'm going to do now is to come right to my shoulder line here. This is my shoulder line, so I'm going to chop off a few inches from my shoulder line. Now shoot, before I do that, I have to like convert this pattern into a full pattern because the blouse is asymmetric, so I need the full complete front pattern to be able to draft the front. So I hope you got the drift of what I just explained. So I'm just going to use this pattern. I'll place another piece of paper underneath this, so I'll just fold this new piece of paper so I can have the double. So I'm going to place this on top of it, then trace all of this out so I can have a full complete front pattern. And this is my tracing wheel, so I'm just going to trace this out now. So guys, this is my new front pattern right here, so opened up. So really it's also the same thing as this. All I did was just have like the full front instead of having just half like this. So yeah, pretty much. Now the border line here, I'm going to close it up because I don't need it. This border line here, border line we have here, that's what we have here and here. So I'm just going to close that up right now. Now let's go right to the step of modifying the neckline. So I'm going to switch up from this neckline to a new type of neckline. So yeah, I'm going to chop off a bit away from the shoulders, and then I'm going to start from here. So on this is my shoulder point here, this is the end of my shoulder here. So from here I'm going to chop off like I'm going to chop off a bit, or I'm going to start from here. Better still, just start from here. So just chop off like 3 inches from this tip here forwards. So yeah, I'm going to do just that now. So you chop 3 inches from here forwards. So yeah, this is it right here. So everything here is no longer needed. So this is my new shoulder tip. So now at this point here also, instead of starting from here, instead of starting the chopping away from here, I'm going to chop it away from here instead. So I'm going to, from here, I'm going to measure 3 inches forwards. So now everything here is no longer needed. So now pretty much, now you can just now decide how wide you want your neckline to be. So for me, I want it like at this same spot here. If you look at the picture, you see that it's a high neckline, so you can just leave it at this spot right here. So I'm going to connect from here to this spot here, and then I'll connect from here also to this spot here. So yeah, that's that for the neckline. Now the dart here, the bust dart here, and this one here, I'm going to like transfer it to the side here. I'll transfer this dart here also to this side here. So how to do that? I'm just going to draw a line from my bust point here. This is my bust point, this is my bust point. So I'll draw it to wherever I want the dart to be located on this side, and then I'll also draw a line from here to anywhere also on this side. So pretty much, and this is it. So these are the 2 points. So now I'm just going to draw a line from there here. So yeah, that's that. Now I'm going to cut one side of this dart here. I'm going to cut one side here open, and then I'm going to cut one side here also open. So yeah, this is it. I cut one line here open all the way to the bust point here, and then I also cut this also open all the way to the bust point here. So now the line I just drew here and the line I just drew here, I also cut that also open to the bust point. And you do the same also for this side. So yeah, this is it, cut open. So now I'm going to pick this side here. I'm going to pick this and place it on top of this, then close it up, and then I'm also going to pick this one also, and then I'll place it on top of this also, so close it up. So pretty much, so the dart that was supposed to be here is now right here. So I hope you got the drift. So let me just tape this down so it doesn't move around. So yeah, now if you look at the neckline we drew before, this neckline that we drew, you see that it is totally scattered. So I'm just going to like blend it. So this is one broken part of the neckline, this is another broken part, this is one broken part, this is another broken part. So I'm just going to blend this way. So I'll blend this way. So pretty much, so now this is my new neckline here. This way, this way. So I hope you got the drift. Now everything here we no longer need. Everything here we no longer need. So now you can just place a piece of paper under this just to like cover up this, just to give it some just to close it up, really not closing the dart, we are just like covering this, so just so that you don't see the table, you are seeing like an actual paper. So yeah, this is it. I already added the paper underneath it, so just to give it, just make it look neat, really there's really no reason why it's there, and just so that it doesn't tear off. So yeah, now just so that I don't have like a sharp point at this spot here, just so you don't get a sharp point at the nipple side here when you are sewing your blouse, I'm going to reduce the bust point of my waist dart here. I'm going to reduce it by 1 inch. Then I'll also do the same also here. This is my bust point right here, so I'll reduce it by 1 inch. So really this is it. I've reduced it so down by 1 inch. Just measure down 1 inch here, and then you reconnect this from here back to your dart leg here, and you reconnect from here to your dart leg here. So I'm going to do the same also here. So I'm just going to, I've already reduced it by 1 inch. Now I'm just going to reconnect to my dart leg here and also reconnect to my dart leg here. So pretty much that's it. So when I'm sewing, I'm just going to, when I'm sewing this dart, I'm going to stop right here instead of here, and when I'm sewing this dart also, I'll stop right here instead of here. So for this dart here, this bust dart here, when you are sewing this, you stop right at the actual bust point, and then you do the same also right here. So I hope you got the drift of like what I just explained. So now let's continue with the tutorial. Now we have to split our blouse into two, because there's going to be an upper part where you'll be cutting with a different fabric if you want, but in the picture they cut with a different fabric, so if you want you can also do that. So there'll be an upper part and there'll be the lower part. So now let's start with the upper parts. So for the upper part, it's going to start from here. So this is our new, remember that this is our new shoulder. So now next thing I'm going to do, so for the neckline here, this is our entire shoulder for this side. Remember that we chopped away this part here, so this is our entire shoulder for this part. So instead of the neckline coming to this part, we'll make sure it comes right here. This is our original, this is our shoulder tip right here. So I'm going to redraw my neckline like from here. This is the center, this is our old neckline, this is our basic neckline, this is where the point, this the neckline of our old neckline, of our basic neckline, this is where it starts from. So I'm going to connect this back like this way. I'm going to connect this back this way. So remember, this is still off, this here, everything here is off. So I hope you got the drift. So now this one is not here anymore. So let me move this closer so that you can see what I'm doing. So look at this. This is no longer here. All I did was just like connect from here to like my original shoulder tip, shoulder head right here. So yeah, now this part here, this one here is where I'm going to be starting my cutting off from. So I'm going to draw a line from here that extends all the way down. So I hope you got the drift. So this is our entire shoulder right here. These are just like this is the entire shoulder of this part right here. So this is the entire shoulder of this point right here, and this is our neckline right here. So instead of like having this coming from here to the neckline, I don't want to cancel it so that it's not rough. So I'm going to be drawing my asymmetrical line, the line I'm going to be using to divide this blouse. I'm going to be starting the drawing from here. So yeah, I hope you got the drift. So now let's start the shaping up. Let's start it from right here. So locate your underbust on this side. So from the top, just measure your underbust. So what's your own underbust level? Just measure it from the top down. So my underbust measurement is 13 inches. So I'm just going to measure 13 inches from here down. I'll measure it down till I locate it on the side here. So this is my underbust level right here. So I'm just going to start like connecting this. I'm going to connect this way. So you can just shaping it anyhow you want to, but for me I'm just going to shaping it this way. I'll make sure it passes right here. So at this spot here, I'm just going to start drawing it up. I'm going to start drawing it all up. I'll come to the center here. So I'll draw it up. This is my center here, then I'll connect it right to this spot here. So I hope you got it. So now just connect this way. So yeah, this is our entire shape here. This way, this way. So this is our full shape. This is the full shape of our shoulder. This is our neckline, so you can see it clearly, and the neckline comes this way. So yeah, so let me just use my pencil to cancel this out, so you know. Just use a marker to trace it so you can see it clearly. So this is it. This is our entire shoulder. This is the shaping part here going down. So it's going down, and this is our neckline right here. Neckline for this side, and then it goes all the way this way, and this is the shoulder here, and this is our armhole right here. So yeah, so now I hope you can see what I've done clearly. So yeah, this is it. This is our A part done right here. So everything here is our A part. So now for the B part, at the armhole level here, decide where you want your decide where you want the neckline of this part to stop or start from. So for me, you can just measure maybe 5 inches from your armhole, or maybe from the top here, just measure 5 inches down. So you can just measure 5 inches down from here. Measure 5 inches down, or if you don't want it too low, you can just measure 4 inches down from here. So whichever one works. So yeah, so now you have to like connect from here to somewhere on this line. So if you look at the picture, you see that the cleavage of that blouse is quite low. So if you want it that low, just connect from here to like this point here, at your armhole level, this point right here at the middle. But if you don't want it that low, you can just raise it higher. You can just like stop right here or here. It all depends on you. But if you want to follow the picture, the actual picture, so just stop somewhere around here. So I'm going to connect from here this way. So yeah, and that's it really. So you can see this is it. So let me just use my marker to trace this out. So yeah, this entire part here, you start from here again here, and then it comes here, goes here, goes here, goes here, goes here, comes back here. And so this entire part is the B part. So this is A, this is B. So you can decide to cut with different fabrics. So you cut this part here with a different fabric, just like the picture, and then you cut this part here with a different fabric. So yeah, this completes all we have to do to the pattern. So everything we've done to the front pattern here, you just do the exact same thing also to the back. So you use your back pattern instead to do that. So you do the same thing, you reduce the shoulder, reduce the shoulder here, draw a new type of neckline, and then pretty much cut this out, cut this also out. So yeah, that's that. Now before you cut, make sure you match and you notch this part here. You notch it here because this is where A and B, this is where they join. So when we cut it out now, I want to join it back when we are sewing. So you sew from here, 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 and then it stops here. So if you don't mark it, how will you know where you are going to stop the sewing? So you mark it up. So when you cut this and you want to cut it out on your fabric, you notch this point and you notch this point. So I hope you got the drift. So now let me just cut this out into two separate pieces. So yeah, this is the completed blouse. So all you have to do now is to just add your allowances. So you add like a 1/4 inch allowance to the neckline, 1/2 inch to the armhole, 1/2 inch to the shoulder. This part here you add like maybe 1/2 inch also. So you add 1/2 inch also here, 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch here, 1 inch to the side, 1/2 inch at the hem here, 1 inch at the side. So pretty much. So now all you have to do is to cut on your fabric. So you cut one of this and then you cut one of this. So when you cut on your fabric, make sure you remember to notch this spot I mentioned earlier, and then you notch also this spot. So when you are sewing, you sew the dart here, you sew the waist dart here, then you also sew the side dart also here. Then for this also you sew the leftover dart here, leftover waist dart here, you sew it, and then at this point here also you come here, you sew this dart, you sew this dart also, this small one here. You know, we already reduced this one here, so this small dart here, you sew it, you sew this dart also, and that completes it. So when you are done sewing the darts, all you have to now do is to just join. So you join this to this and then you stop right here. So you just place this right sides together and then you begin to sew till you get to this mark here. So when you get to that mark, you stop. So yeah, pretty much. Now also something I want you to note also is that before you cut on your fabric, please hold a bit of that at the top neckline here, so that when you are sewing, this part here is going to stick firmly to your body, so it's not going to gape. So just hold like maybe 1 inch right here. So you hold it. So you hold it on the pattern. Once you hold it, then you cut on your fabric. So I hope you got the drift. So that's it. That's the sewing instruction I'm going to give, because like I mentioned earlier, there's not going to be any sewing in this tutorial. So yeah, watch out for my next tutorial where I'm going to be showing you how to cut the statement sleeve part of this blouse. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button below your screen, tap the like button, and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss my next tutorial. So the next tutorial after this is going to be the one for the sleeve. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.